Back to the phone lines. We'll talk next to David, listening in Oklahoma. Hi, David.
Hey, how are you, Hank?
Good, thank you.
Hey, I had a question. I spoke today with a coworker who was a Seventh-day Adventist.
Uh-huh.
We talked about 3 or 4 different topics, but the one I want to go home and do some research on is the Sabbath day, Saturday or Sunday, and I thought I would call and let you kind of educate me right quick.
Well, I think what the issue here is a recognition that Jesus is the substance that fulfills the types and shadows, and that it is in Jesus that we have our Sabbath rest, and therefore for the early Christian church, the most dangerous snare to avoid was a failure of recognizing that it was in Christ we have our Sabbath rest. And the reason we are celebrating on the first day of the week is simply in honor of the central pillar in the historic Christian faith, which is the resurrection of Jesus Christ. But I think it's important, too, to look at what Paul says in Colossians chapter 2 for those who have the opposite point of view, which is that they want to worship on Saturday as opposed to Sunday. I find no problem with that whatsoever, as long as you don't fail to recognize that it is in Christ that you have your Sabbath rest. In other words, so the emphasis is in the right place. But Paul says, don't let anyone judge you by what you eat or drink, or with regard to a religious festival, a new moon celebration, a Sabbath day. These are a shadow of the things that were to come. The reality, however, is found in Christ. And what's great about that passage is Paul presents a descending order, as it were, from annual to monthly to weekly celebrations. And therefore, what's in view when he talks about a Sabbath day is a weekly Sabbath. And again, the issue that Paul is underscoring is that Jesus is the substance. Jesus is the reality. And a failure to recognize that would be missing the point entirely.